同学们好.
老师好.
Thank you. Good. It is the 10th of April, I think. I'm often off by one. Last week we did Fair Lady Work Shuttles number 1. We'll do number 2 today. And it's familiar footwork but in a new combination. So the footwork in fact is the same footwork that we have when we go from push to single whip and do diagonal flying, but we're just putting it together in a new combination. And it's quite a big round step, 135-degree turn. So if you need accommodations, we'll look at some ways of making that footwork if it's too difficult. But we'll start with standing practice. So we'll just do a few minutes in parallel stance, and then we'll do bow stance, because Laura had a question about bow stance last week. So let's just start attention on the feet. So make sure your weight is even forward back, even on the balls and the heels. We call that over the bubbling well. Bend the knees and drop the hips straight down. So that's what we're working on in April, which is relax the waist. So dropping the hips straight down. You can keep your arms down here if you want, or in front of your chest if that's comfortable. So let's just do a couple of minutes here. So feel your waist relax. So that's your lower back. And Young Chengfu's 10 Essentials says the waist is the commander of the body, which is a weird thing to say, but I think it means that it controls everything. We've talked about how we control the movement of the limbs, the legs and the arms, by controlling the turning of the waist, which is the lower back. It's also the case that we're not really stable until we have our lower back relaxed, which means open and extended. And we'll try that in bow stance in a couple of minutes. It's even easier to see there than here, because here, we've just got our weight even on our feet. The other thing that the waist helps us do is to distinguish between empty and full. Let's say for weight, and we'll see that when we do the stepping for Fair Lady number 2, how turning the waist will help us move our weight from the left to the right, to the left to the right. And so the other posture checks here. So we've done relax the waist. So the other end of the spine, feel your head rising up, crown of the head pushing up. Feel your shoulders sinking and elbows dropping. That sort of lengthens the neck. As the head goes up, it connects to the hips too, so lengthens your whole spine. And then absorb the chest, so feel the elbows extending out. That'll open your back left and right. So in the small of your back, at the back, you're opening from side to side and from top to bottom. So it's all opening and relaxing. So let's just go into a bow stance. So shift your weight slightly, open one of your feet and step forward with the other foot and go into a forward bow stance. So you're leaning forward slightly and make sure that your back leg is straight but not locked. Make sure that your tailbone is centered between your heels. Now feel, yeah, that's nice, Laura. Yeah. Now feel your hips dropping down. So make your lower back a little bit straighter. So you want to just extend the lower back out a little bit and feel the weight on your feet. If you stick your tailbone out, you'll find that you're not as stable. If you tuck your tailbone in, I don't feel as solid on my feet. When my lower back is open, then I feel more stable. Let's change to the other side. So push back onto the back foot, change. One foot to the corner, front foot to straight. You're leaning forward slightly. Yep, and make sure that back leg is straight but not locked. Bit straighter if you can, Laura. So push into the front knee, front thigh with the back leg, and push with the front thigh into the back heel. And now relax your waist. And see if you can find an angle of your hips that gives you the most solid, stable feeling on your feet. But don't forget the other things. Head up, shoulders down, absorb the chest, and of course, breathing. So release, bring the back foot forward. And so let's just do a couple of little breathing exercises. So just open the arms up and press down and bend the knees. This is just a way of coming out of your standing practice. So rotate, straighten the legs, go up, and then breathing out, bend the knees, sinking down. And one more. So rotate the arms gradually, straighten the legs as you go up about 45 degrees, and then press down as you breathe out. And let's stop there, hands touching the outside of your thighs. Great. So we'll practice the last third of the second section and then into the third section as far as we went last week, which is Fair Lady Work Shuttles number 1. Before we start, any questions? Anything that you want to work on or that you've been thinking about before we start our practice? Okay, so let's practice, and if anything comes up, we can talk about it. So I'm going to go in the same direction as you. So the front, there's my red marker. The front for me is there. We're going to start at punch down after we did separation kicks, brush knee left, right, and punch down. So we're in punching down to the front right corner in the 3 o'clock direction. Yep. Turn body, chop with fist. Parry, block, and punch. Right heel kick. Left strike tiger. Right strike tiger. Right heel kick. Twin fists. Boxing opponent's ears. Left heel kick. Turn body. Right heel kick. Parry, block, and punch. Apparent closing up. Cross hands. Embrace tiger. Return to the mountain. Roll back. Press. Push. Diagonal single whip. Wild horse parts its mane. 1. 2. 3. 'Grassbird's tail. Left ward off. Right ward off. Roll back. Press. Push. Single whip. Fair lady works shuttles. 1. 'And stop there and release. Okay. So, hey Rogelio. Rogelio had a question last week. I did check, and so Rogelio's question last week was, what does the lower hand do when we do a transition in wild horse parts its mane? So if I'm coming towards you and I've done on the left, what does this hand do? This hand. And so the answer is pretty much as we discussed. It's like going from ward off left to ward off right. So as I start opening, my right hand is going to go from the sitting position to a ward off position. So it's actually going to rotate so that it can then close as I step, then I open. Then if we do it on the other side, it's the same thing. As I start opening with the upper hand, the lower hand starts rotating. So it goes from the sitting position to this ward-off position so that it can close and sweep up. And so just for comparison, when we go from ward-off left to ward-off right, watch this hand. I turn. As my upper hand does the grab and pull, this lower hand is actually rotating into this rounded shape here. So as I go from here, it's sitting. Actually, let me come a lot closer. You can see it a bit better. So when I'm here, as I'm turning, you can see it's coming into this position so that I can close and step, and then I finish. There's another place where we do the same thing if you need another one to think about, which is when we do parry, block and punch to ward off right. So here the right hand is up, the left hand is in this position, but it's going to do something very similar. So shift weight back slightly, both arms open, Then the left is going to do a grab and the right is going to release and come down. So open, grab, turn into this rounded shape, close and step, ward off, right. Did that answer the question, Rogelio? Great. Any other questions? Anything that anybody else would like to work on? Okay. Not hearing anything, let's go straight into review of Fair Lady Work Shuttles number 1. I'll go through I'll show it once, we'll go through it a couple of times, then I'll watch you practice and we'll see if there's anything I missed. So I am going to turn around my direction. So now my direction is here. So let's just look at this movement. We start in a left bow stance and we're going to end in another left bow stance. So single whip, shift weight back slightly. The left hand scoops around, the left foot turns through 135 degrees. As I shift back my weight, I open the right hand, left hand pulls in front of my chest, release the right foot, step with the right foot, center line 2 sides. I'm now going to close my arms, step out, strike. So let's just review the footwork. So the footwork, we're in a left bow stance. The first thing is shift weight back slightly, then turn the left toe through 135 degrees. Pick up and then shift weight back, release the right foot. Pick up the right foot and step. So my right foot is now going to the side, the 3 o'clock direction. Then I'm going to step past it into a bow stance. So my left foot is going to go to the corner and I'm going to finish in a forward left bow stance. So if I turn around so that maybe we're all going in the same direction here. So if you're facing the screen, you'll now be looking at my back. Shift weight back slightly, turn the left toe through 135 degrees. Shift weight back, release the right foot, pick it up, step. Right foot goes to the side, center line 2 sides on the diagonal, step through into a bow stance to the diagonal. And then check your bow stance by taking your back foot, the right foot, turning it through 45 degrees so both feet are pointing to the corner. Bring it forward. Do you have shoulder width? Yay! Rock and roll. Okay. Are we good on the footwork? Let's do any questions? Yes, Laura, go ahead. Nope, we're good. Okay. So
Work one more time.
Say again?
Work one more time.
Of course. Of course. So we'll do it twice. So starting in a left bow stance. Yep. Shift weight back. Turn the left toe 135 degrees. So it's now going to the front right corner. Pick up the right foot. Step center line to side. Right foot pointing to the side. Step through into a bow stance. Now you're in a left bow stance. So you've gone from a left bow stance to a left bow stance. Do it again. Let's put my little marker down. So that's the front. I'll go here. Shift weight back slightly. Turn the left toe 135 degrees. Shift weight back, release the hip. Pick up the right foot, step, pointing to the side. Step through into a bow stance. Make sure you've got enough room between your heels for a good bow stance. Got it. Good. I love to see thumbs. Okay, let's talk about the arm movements, and then we'll finish by talking about the body movements, which we started talking about at the end of last week, but I short-circuited, short-changed you a little on that. Okay. So we are in single whip. I have to back off since I'm going to step in that direction. So we're in single whip. 1, shift weight back slightly. Now turn the left foot, and then the left arm sweeps around. And when your left foot is turned in, both your arms are pointing to the side. Yeah. Now shift back your weight. Pull the left arm back. Release the hook and step. So here at the end of 2, you're in this position here. Yep. Now 3, shift forward. The right arm comes to the diagonal direction. Left arm shuttles under. 3. 4, step out. Your right arm is cradled here. Left arm is up in ward off. 5, strike. Right. So just a couple of things that it's hard for me, particularly given the direction I'm going, I just wanted to just underline. So the first thing is this left arm is going to come around. It's almost like this big scooping movement, and it's going to point to the side. When I shift my weight back, I start releasing my hook. I'm going to cross the arm. So as I step towards the corner, the right arm comes to the left arm comes to the right. Then I'm going to open my arms. When I'm in this position here, make sure that your elbow isn't back. Make sure your chest is sinking so your elbow isn't past the side of your body. And make sure that, so you've done this ward off here, that your right arm is pointing towards the corner, because that's where you're going to strike. So essentially your right arm is just going to strike. It's already set up to go in the corner direction. Yeah. And then the last thing, you weren't thinking about this when you were practicing that, but I just want to underline it. When we strike, we go from palm up to palm out, but the rotation is constant. So we start rotating as soon as we start moving, and we finish rotating when we finish moving. So try and sort of get all those gears working constantly. So the rotation of the arm is constant. It doesn't, for example, you're not doing change it and then punch, or you're not doing changes it at the last minute. It's just a constant going out. Yes. And the other thing that I want you to note is it's, you know, for those who play American football, you know, apparently this is where you hold the football, so the hand's not down here, it's here. Or it's like holding a baby. Now, normally you'd hold the baby here, so but here you're holding the baby here. But make sure that it's a nice cradle shape, because another way to think about this, we're going to end just like we end with left brush knee. So with left brush knee, we come with the arm sweeps up to here, and then we strike out, right? So the arm sweeps back, sits, and strike. Here, it's the same strike. The only difference is my palm is facing backwards, whereas when I'm doing brush knee, my palm is facing forward. But my forearm, everything else is the same. It's just the arm is rotated in a different direction. Good. I love those nods. Let's practice that a couple of times. So we are going to start in our left bow stance, doing single whip. Yep. 1, shift back weight, circle the left hand all the way around, both arms pointing to the side. 2, sit back the weight, pull back the left hand, start turning the right hand, and step with the right foot. 3, shift your weight forward. Left arm shuttles under right, step out. So your heel touches, arms are sort of, your left arm is up, right hand is cradled, and then strike. So I'm going to rotate myself by 90 degrees, and let's see if you can see a little bit better at this angle, or see something different at least. Okay, so again, shift weight back, turn the arm. So you can see my arm comes all the way to the side now. Shift weight back, step. Arms come, the right arm is now pointing to the corner, left arm is shuttled under. Open. You can see this arm is pointing to the corner, this arm is warding off to the corner. Strike. Now, the thing that I want you to, you remember I was talking about the waist leading the limbs, or the waist being the commander of the body. We're here. What we're doing is when we go forward, we actually are turning our waist and our hips as well to move everything forward at the same time. So it's this movement here, and you'll see a bigger waist movement in the next one, but it's here as well. So let's do that again. So we're in single whip. 1, shift back weight, turn the left arm all the way to the other side. 2, sit back weight, release the hook, bring the left arm back, step. 3, shuttle under. 4, step to the corner. 5, strike. Yeah, good. So now, okay, before I go on, are there any questions about that? Yes, we're good. Okay, so now I just want to, now that you can see the arms, again, the waist leads the limbs. We think about the arms, but it's really the chest turning that makes the arms go where they go. So I want to just review where our chest is pointing at the various times and what the arms need to do, or how the arms follow that. So we're going to start here. So when I turn to here, my arms are to the side, my chest is to the corner. Then as I shift my weight back and release, my chest actually turns to the front. So I go from chest to the corner to chest to the front. Okay? Now I'm going to start closing my arms. My chest is beginning to go from left to right. When I'm open here, my chest is pointing to the side. Then when I strike, my chest comes back to the corner. So let's do that, and I'll just call it, you know, side, corner, whatever. Okay, so here we are. We're in our single whip. So turn the body all the way around, chest to the corner. Sit back, release the right hand, chest to the front, step. Now, circle the left under the right, chest to the corner. Keep turning the chest, chest to the side, strike, chest to the corner. And the reason why you want chest to the corner is because, you know, one arm up, one arm to the side, your chest is in the direction where you're striking. One thing to just think about, let's just, yep, we'll just let Rogelio finish. That was a nice correction. So what I want you to think about is when the left arm has come around here, it's actually going to come, it's sort of rounded. I'll turn my body in a second, but it actually comes closer to the chest as your chest turns. So for example, if I'm doing it here, you can see here my arm is sort of rounded, and it actually comes closer into my chest, comes a little bit closer as I release my hook and turn. Then I can do the shuttle and step. Okay, let me watch you. Just do it on your own time, and let's see if there's anything to discuss. Nice. That's looking really nice. One thing that I noticed that I just want to make sure that you are showing is when we come around here, so this hand, keep, like, it's almost getting vertical pretty early on, so don't keep it up to here. It comes from the sitting position. It's like scooping around. More important than that, though, is make sure that when you sit your weight back from right to left, the left arm comes back. So the left arm sweeps around to here and then comes back to here so that it can then shuttle under again. So this is an example of yin and yang, right? So you go this way, then you come back this way, then you go this way, then you come back that way. So it's the arm is moving backwards and forwards. So let's just think about this left arm for the last time we're going to do this. Okay, so actually I'm going to go here. So one left arm comes all the way around. Now left arm comes to the left as the chest comes to square, step. Left arm comes to the right as it shuttles under. Left arm comes up and then strike. Yes. From here, strike. And again. Shift weight back, circle the left arm all the way to the right side. Shift, sitting weight back, open the chest, left arm comes back, right arm opens. Shuttle through, step out, and strike. We're about to go into Fair Lady number 2. Before we do that, yes, Rogelio?
When you strike with the left, when you
Deflect.
strike with the left, you're on your heel.
Yeah. That's okay. So when yes, I am on the heel. When I'm on the heel when my arms are open here.
Okay.
And then from here, foot flat, bend knee, strike.
Okay. So the knee starts bending when the left arm is already on its way out.
Yes, with the leg, so let's just make sure we're on the same page. So yes, come around to here, step here. So I'm in this position here, heel touch. So now as I push from the back, foot flattens, knee bends, and then the arm comes up. So the arm is in this position here, heel down, but foot not down yet. Then foot flat, knee bend as I strike.
Oh, so the right arm starts moving forward until you have your foot flat, and then starts knee.
I don't think so. So let's just see. So here, so I'm rooted here. Now
Yeah.
I'm going to strike.
Okay.
Now, the thing that I want, the reason why I'm so glad you asked that question, that was a moment of telepathy. The coordination is going to be different in the next one. Because here, I want you to notice, yeah, I'll do it in this direction again, that foot flat, heel touch, arms open. With the next one, it's essentially going to be heel down, arms closed. Then it's going to open and strike. So on Fair Lady 2 and 4, when the heel is down, the arms are closed. With Fair Lady 1 and 3, when the heel is down, the arm is already up. And then there's just this when the foot flattens and the knee bends. So
Okay.
don't sort of get confused about that. They're just different, and I think it's because 2 and 4 go around much further. So you have further to go. So it actually makes sense to close here and then open and strike.
So we have to make sure not to do the 4, not to end the 4 equally.
Yeah. Now I don't think it'll be a problem because just the way that the movements are put together, it feels natural this way.
Okay.
It's just that I wanted to mention it to you because a lot of people get confused at some point because they suddenly go, hang on, are they the same or are they different? They're different. Good question. Thank you. Okay, so let's talk about number 2. So actually, I am going to use my props. So, fair lady, so these are the directions that we're going to go. And in fact, when we do all 4 fair ladies, we're going to go around the clock like that. We're going to go number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. Today, we're just worried about 1 and 2, so I'm going to take the 3 and the 4 away. But, you know, it doesn't feel as simple as it looks. Because, you know, because we go one way and then we do this big turn the other way and then we go the short direction this way and then a big turn the other way. But it's really very simple. It's just going around the clock, one point after the other. So we're just going to worry today about 1 and 2. And so that's going to be the front for me. And so we did fair lady number 1. We ended up as a left bow stance in the 1 direction. We're going to now turn and do a right bow stance to the 2 direction. So let me just demonstrate it. So from here, shift back weight, press down with both hands, circle, left foot turns to the front, turn, shuttle the arms, close and step, foot flattens, arm opens, and strike. And now you're pointing in the 2 direction. And so, in a way, the footwork couldn't be simpler. You're going from a left bow stance to a right bow stance. That's all you're doing. But you're doing all this fancy turning, right? What I'm going to start talking about is just the footwork. And so now I'm going to turn it around. So this is the front for me. Okay, so we're starting with the left bow stance. We're going to turn all the way around and end up with a right bow stance in that direction. So that's what we're going to achieve with this footwork. Left bow stance to right bow stance. How do we do it? We do it in 2 parts. The first is we're going to turn and face the back there, by turning this front foot through 135 degrees. Shift weight back, turn it through 135 degrees. Pick up the right foot, step out, and come forward. And I'll have to give myself a bit more room. But the first thing I want you to notice, the first part of what we do, shift back weight, turn the left toe through 135 degrees, is exactly the same, but on the other side. From push to single whip. Same footwork. Right? From push to single whip, you can see I'm turning the right foot through 135 degrees. And here, I'm just going to step forward when I'm going from push to single whip. When I do Fair Lady Work Shuttles number 2, the second half is stepping like diagonal flying, but easier. So if you remember diagonal flying, so we've done, let's not have that there. So I've done step back repulse monkey. You can see my left foot is pointing to that corner. Shift my weight back, step behind me 180 degrees, shift my weight, turn my back foot. So in this case, actually turned, so you can see my feet are pointing like 180 degrees from each other. If you can do that, you can do this footwork. And if you, because this footwork is not 180 degrees, it's just 135 degrees. But if you can't do that footwork, we've got accommodations for you. So let's just review the footwork, and then we can talk about the accommodations. So we're going to start in a left bow stance to what would be your front right corner. Doesn't matter, just left bow stance. Shift weight back, turn the left foot to the back. Now you're going to shift back weight, pick up the right foot, step it out to the corner, shift weight, and then turn the left toe in into a bow stance. I'm going to turn around and do this footwork in the same direction that you would do it, in case that is more helpful. So we're starting with a left bow stance. The first, yeah, this is even harder on Zoom than it is in real life, because no matter where you start, either you can't see me at the beginning or you can't see me in the middle. So shift weight back, turn the left foot to behind you. Step behind you, but just 135 degrees. Bend knee, turn in the left toe. Now, does anybody have trouble with that footwork? Okay, good. So there's a very simple way to do this. Remember I said you're going from a bow stance to a bow stance. And you probably also hear me say, always start your bow stance on the back foot, because that way you know you're going to be good. So we're going to start in our left bow stance. Turn the right foot as far as it'll go. Maybe it goes to the back, maybe it doesn't matter. Step behind you with the right foot, pick up the left and put it down pointing to the side. This is going to be your back foot. Then just step out into a bow stance with the right foot. So we're going to start with our left bow stance. Turn the right foot as far as it'll go. Step behind you. This is a transition step with the right foot. Pick up the left foot, put it down, pointing to the side. And now just step out into a bow stance. Do it again. So we're starting in our left bow stance. Shift weight back, turn the left toe as far as it'll go. Pick up the right, transition step with the right, put the left foot down where you want it, which is to the left side corner, left side straight, and then just step out into your bow stance. Does that work, Lorraine?
Yeah, so that means I don't have to make the last move on my left foot when you turn it in. Okay, that's where I have my trouble.
You don't have to worry about any of that. So
Okay.
the way I think about it is, you know, you start in your left bow stance. You do best efforts turning the left foot in, right? So whatever you can manage, doesn't matter how far you can go. Then you walk it around and you make sure your left foot is in the direction where you want it for your final position, which is to the side. And then from here, you just have to, from here, you just have to step out into your bow stance. You just have to step here. Because then, you know you're 45 degrees from the straight, all good. Is that good? Okay. So it turns out that the arm footwork coordination actually is pretty straightforward too, but I'm going to start with the standard footwork and then I'll do the coordination with the accommodation footwork. Okay? So let's just do the standard arm movements. So we've started in our left bow stance and we're going to do arm movements. I've done my strike out. First thing is I'm going to shift back my weight, press down my palms across the diagonal, somebody striking towards me. Now, as I turn my left foot, I'm going to sweep my arms around. And when my back my left foot is to the back, my arms are in front of me. Yes, that's looking great. Now my arms are going to horizontally circle, horizontally rotate as I close and step. When I land with my right foot, my right heel, my arms are closed. Foot flattens, right arm goes into ward off, knee bends, I strike. Since you couldn't see that, let me just underline or remind you the arm movements when we begin. So when I did Fair Lady 1, so I was here. I'm going to press my palms down. And you can see that my chest, actually if I'm going to start right here, because now you can see my chest is to the corner. As I press down with body turning, and my chest is to the side. So actually there's body turning as my palms come down. And when my palms come down, they are either side of the line to the corner out of the middle of my chest. So they're here. And so I want to ask Susan to join me, and let's just talk about the application, because hopefully, and we'll talk about all the parts of it, to bank some of them. Okay, so actually I'm just going to do this. So if Susan is going to strike to me here, and I'm just going to, actually let's do it from this direction. So Susan is going to strike to my center. So I'm here. She's going to strike to my center, and I'm going to put my palms over her arm here, so that you can see her arm is on the diagonal, my palms are on the diagonal. So this is, if you could just hold, so if Susan strikes, we need a camera in the roof, don't we? So let's hold it down here, right? So Susan is going to strike here. I'm going to press down on this line. So this is, so I've started here, I'm going to press down here. Okay. Where you'll end up is that your left arm will be to the side and your right arm will probably be to the front. So the arms will be sort of like this. Because if you think about, you want your arms across this diagonal, your palms are in front of the body at this sort of angle relative to each other, and they're horizontal. Okay, so what I'm trying to set up for, and Susan's going to come and strike here, is I want to grab her right hand and pull. So I'm actually setting up to do a grab and pull here. So this turn that we're doing is grab and pull. And you remember when I was saying this first part of the movement is just like push to single whip? This should be familiar, because if I'm doing, let's say I'm doing push and Susan's coming in, going to strike with the left, I'm going to do this and then I'm going to pull. This is single whip. It's the same, the arm movements are slightly different because I'm starting here, I'm going to grab here and control her shoulder, but it's the same movement. She's going to come in, I'm going to pull her around. So that's what we're doing here. The first is we deflect it down, we connect with the right hand, and then we pull. Then, let's say I had one opponent there, Susan's going to be the other opponent, I've come around, she's going to punch to me, and I'm going to deflect up and strike. So you can see that this one, when I've come around here, deflect up and strike, is just like Fair Lady 1. That's why the ending posture, if you could just step away, Susan, the ending posture is the same. I've done a deflect up and strike. Deflect and strike. So every time we show this movement in Fair Lady Work Shuttles, it's the same thing you need to think about. deflecting up with the upper arm and striking with the lower arm, striking with the heel of the palm. Any questions? Good. Thank you, Susan. Okay. Now let's talk about the arm movements with the accommodation. So let's see. I'm going to start here. Yep. So I'm to here. So 1, push down. 2, as I turn my left foot as far as it'll go, I'm just turning my body. And if I start from this direction, I want you to see where my arms are halfway through. If I'm starting here, press down, turn. So at this point, my arms are both sort of just out zombie fashion. Now you're going to step around, and you're going to step around and shuttle the arms. So when you get to your left foot in the standing position, you've shuttled the arms. So you've pulled, you're going to shuttle the right under the left. So we're going to be in the shuttle position here. So let's do that. So from here, push down, turn, horizontally rotate and shuttle the arms as you step around with the left leg. Right arm under left, step out with the heel. So this position where you're shuttling under with the right arm under the left arm, that's when your heel touches. Foot flattens, arms open, knee bends, strike. I'll do it in this direction. So 1, shift weight back, press down with both palms. 2, pull. 3, as you walk it around, shuttle the right arm under the left and step, so that when you're in your heel down, your right arm is under the left. Foot flattens, the right arm goes up, left arm cradles the baby, strike with the knee bend. Do that again. So 1, press down. 2, pull, turn the left foot. Now 3, walk it around, shuttle the right under the left, heel touch. So heel touch when the arms are closed. Foot flattens, arm open, knee bend, strike. Again. We're in the left bow stance. 1, press down. Check that your palms are on either side of the diagonal from the center of your chest to the corner. Now, pull around. As you walked around, shuttle the right arm under the left, step out, so when your heel touches, arms are closed. Foot flattens, arm open, knee bend, strike. Again, we're in the left bow stance. Shift weight back, press down. Circle the arms. As you walk it around, shuttle the right under the left, step out, heel touch, arms closed, foot flattens, right arm out, left arm back, bend knee, strike out with the left. Again. 1, press down. 2, turn. 3, shuttle the arms, walk it around. When the arms are closed, heel touch. Foot flattens, arm opens, knee bends, strike. Again. 1, press down. 2, turn. 3, shuttle the arms as you walk it around. Heel touch, arms closed. Foot flattens, arm opens, knee bend, strike. Okay? something I just want to mention. We're going to run out of time. I'll watch you next week. One of the things to watch out for, when we start here, we press down, we pull around. When we pull around, we want to do a shuttle. So when you're pulling with the right arm, be careful not to open your right arm too far, because then you don't have anything left to do the shuttle with. So don't pull your arm more open than about like this, so that you have a little bit of space left to turn your right arm around to do the shuttle. Let's do it again, and now I'll do it with the standard footwork. If use whatever footwork works best for you. So we'll start, and this is the front for me. I'm in a left bow stance to the corner. So 1, press down. 2, pull and circle. Left toe goes to the back. 3, shuttle under as you step behind you. Heel touch, arms closed. Foot flattens, arm opens. Knee bend, strike. Do it again. We're in the left. 1, shift back, weight with body turning, push down. Keep body turning, pull around, don't pull too far. Sit back, wait. Step and shuttle, arms are closed. Foot flattens, arm opens. Knee bend, strike. One more. Left bow stance. Shift weight back, press down. Now pull. Your waist is leading this pull. Shuttle as you step. Use your waist to get your feet around. Now shift your weight forward. Foot flattens as you shuttle up. As you strike, use the waist turn. Let me just underline that point. I am still struggling with this. Sorry, we're running late. But one of the things I'll show you I'll show you what I'm struggling with, and this waist is helping me work in it. Maybe it'll help you. So when I'm here, come around. Start a bit further back. Come around to here. This is good. This is good. So you can see my weight is in the back here. My weight is on the left. Now I've got to come forward and bend my knee. And typically what happens is I bend my knee and then everything else happens. The challenge is, how do you move your weight and have the knee bending at the same speed? And I find this is actually use your waist to drive the turning of the back. So drive your left heel with turning of the waist, which will actually bend the right. So think about the body turning as you do this movement. Okay, so let's stop there. Time flies. Announcements. World Tai Chi Day, April 27th. If you need more third section practice, Dee is doing third section on Tuesdays at 9:30 Pacific. Cheryl has just started second section on Mondays at 4 p.m. Pacific. And Rita is doing first section Fridays at 3 p.m. I don't know if any, so I know Lorraine and Rogelio aren't planning to come to Master Young seminar. Lorraine, are you planning to come to the seminar? Okay, so I won't market the seminar. So I think that's it. So let's close class. So I will say, so the way the salute works is we all bring our arms up. I will say Tongxiamen Zai Tian, and you say Lao Shi Zai Tian. So that's class goodbye, teacher goodbye. So let's try it. Okay. 同学们再见。
老师再见。